So I've been working my way through some Battletech mailbag here, looking at some Battletech questions, working on the next couple of vlogs to push out. And it got me thinking, some of the questions got me thinking about the hobby aspect of Battletech. Painting, modeling, basing, certainly with the new plastics on their way sooner rather than later. Things that I've been thinking about, building a new lance, augmenting some of my other lances, and being on Facebook, pulling in lots of amazing inspiration from a lot of modelers and a lot of hobbyists. One of the things that I didn't notice, this is why, Fritz, why are we looking at a Chaos Space Marine on the splash screen here? This is something that I was thinking, there are little things that you can do in Warhammer 40,000, being a mass market, mass battle miniature game where you're putting down hundreds of miniatures, often a lot of them in the same pose. Working through your miniature pile, the two things that add detail or kind of pull them out, basing, always focus on basing, because the basing is going to give you lots of different options. It's going to frame the miniature. It's going to help it pop. And you can put a lot of effort into basing, but for the least amount of effort in basing, you can get the maximum results of showcasing your mech. And then the other thing, so we see that in 40K, custom bases, resin bases, just basing your entire army immediately gives it some amazing tabletop presence. But the other thing we see in Battletech is, Warhammer 40K, if you look at my Chaos Space Marine here, drilling out the gun barrels, drilling out the weapon barrels, that aspect of the mold not being possible, so doing that by hand. And I had one friend who was obsessed not only with magnetizing everything, but literally drilling out everything. And in the scope of the army, it really looked fantastic. That got me thinking back to Battletech. Certainly the mechs, possibly not with lasers, because you can do a jewel effect for them, glass effect, smoke effect, but PPCs, autocannons, machine guns. What about going back, in my case, and drilling these out? What about with the new plastic kits, the new plastic models, potentially drilling that out? And the other thing that I see with Battletech, being on various groups, that regardless of the decision you've made to paint your miniature and take it in that direction, another really great add-on, antennas. Just adding on the antennas onto Battle Masters, onto Stalkers, onto Wolverines, onto Wasps and Stingers and Locusts, just having that little pop. These very, very thin metal rods, drilling that out with the jeweler's drill, and then putting it in, painting it. So I'm building my list here of those little tweaks, those little things for when the plastics do drop. Basing, antennas and sensor arrays, and drilling out the barrels of appropriate weapons. Your thoughts as a Battletech enthusiast, the little custom things that you can do to help bring and help pop your mechs.